That's funny that I automatically sing in F. Voila. There's this feeling you get when you play a new song and you're like hitting the cue button and you're playing a show and the intro is just so easy to mix where you're like, I'm going to play this song for years just because it's a banger and it's got a great intro to mix in with. Okay, clap 3. I'm sure I've used this I'm not even kidding, on 200 songs. You guys must think I'm crazy because I just sit here and I literally just make the sounds with my mouth and then recreate it on the computer. Da, 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 da. We're going to rename this too. We're going to call it Acid. I'm more of a mushrooms guy, but acid's cool too. All right, we're back. What is good? So let's see where we left off here. We got that banging 808 little situation happening, which is nice now. Let's mess with this thing a little bit. We didn't really get much into this at all, actually. All we did was mess with this wavetable position. So this is kind of a slippery slope of how far you want to go with messing with the sound, because I think it sounds pretty good. It's got that cool acid vibe going on, but check this out. This unison knob, and then you can pick which one of these you want to apply to it, but let's start with vocode. That's just kind of sick already. So yeah, you can automate that manually, or you can assign an LFO to it, which I like to do for especially bass sounds. So let's drag an LFO. Whoa! Mess with the frequency. Give it some more speed. So that in conjunction with this wavetable position moving around, you're kind of in business right there. Also, the thing I really love about Vital is the compressor. It just sounds so good compared to... I'm not a huge fan of Serum's compressor or the multi-band setting on it. I just think it sounds a little too tinny for some reason. Can't put my finger on it. I really don't know what I'm talking about at all. But this one just sounds way better. I didn't even do anything to it. I just turned it on. But yeah, we can mess with how much compression's going on. So this top one is what's compressing. So it pretty much acts as like an OTT. A shorter release time will make it get back to the point to where it's working quicker in between notes. Longer attack time will let the initial transient through. So I like to, on any compression, most compression that I do, I like to have a long attack, short release. And then we can mess with these, these low, mid, and high knobs just to get it dialed. Let's check out the distortion too. So you kind of start to lose what I love about that acid sound, and that's like how it's kind of like wet sounding if you add too much distortion. Oh. So, oh, that's kind of cool. So that's a nice little, yeah, that's just a good thick version of that sound now. Ooh, that actually makes this part pretty cool too. So that's what we did with this unison knob. Gonna be fun. Cool. So now we got nice framework to do a little jam session over it. This is like my favorite part of making music, is actually making the music part. I love writing like fun little leads.
If you guys want to take your skills to the next level, I highly recommend Fire Society. We have internationally renowned artists like 2 to 3 times a week going through the project files and showing us what they do. Quicks, Code Pandorum, Dr. Ozzy, G-Rex, Samplifier, Fox Stevenson, Ray Volpe, Odd Prophet, Ace Aura, Skunto, Desoki, just to name a few. We've also got tons of awesome instructors, some giving feedback live streams weekly, and some that you can book for personal lessons. Feedback wise, I mean, just even at the time of recording this video, we've got Sam, Odd Prophet, Ace Aura. As far as the courses go, everything from all the technical stuff to, you know, all the business stuff, basically everything you need to know. And if you actually apply yourself and put all of it to the test, you know, some of the students have come out on these labels here. So check out the link below to sign up or check it out.
Cool. So we got a new instance of Vital going. That's kind of what I like to do initially, is just mess around on the keyboard and just get a little vibe going. But yeah, let's mess with the unison on this so we can get a nice big fat sounding lead. So they make it super easy because you can just do the individual unison, you know, for each oscillator right here. So we got number of voices and then how spread out you want it to be. Also known as detune. And then since I want to do some fun little like, oh, well, since I'm not going to play a chord with this. Actually, that sounds kind of sick. Now, I want to do a lead. I want to have some fun with a little lead. So I just turned it to one voice, and then I'm going to mess with the glide. So I'm turning on always glide, and then I'm also going to turn on legato. So the legato lets you get these little, you know, rolling between notes type of a feeling. And then the glide will just, you know, if you have no glide, then it's just going to be like you're playing a straight lead melody. But if you turn the glide up, it gets a little wonky. So I've used this in all my songs for like, I don't know, better part of like last 10 years. I do it in massive usually. So it's same idea. Yeah, it's just fun to mess with. And now that we got that, let's just play this loop. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of times I'll just like, I'll just sit here for a couple hours. Sometimes I'll dedicate an entire session to doing this kind of stuff and just playing, coming up with leads, coming up with like catchy melodies. Because that's really when you get the best stuff. If you like sit there and just, you know, do it constantly over and over, jam out. I remember like a lot of older songs that I made with Jansen. That's what he did. He would like, or at least that's what he told me. He would just like over and over and over for hours, like sit there and try and like play different stuff until the catchiest melody kind of happened on its own. So, you know, for recording and all that, I like to usually do it over here on this side because you're not really like, you can let it loop forever and it'll keep recording and have it be one long file that ends up over here. And then you can drag it over here and like kind of chop it up and do what you want with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna record a little bit and mess around. Boom, like that's the one right there. that last one. By the way, you can hit tab to switch between this mode and that mode as far as like these two. In case you didn't know. Yeah, so let's grab that part over there. I'm just gonna click on that, hit 0. Oh no, oh yeah, that's the one right there. You gotta press that little play button. Yeah, that's a fun one. So now we can go in and like really dial this in. Let's see. Let's hit fold since I've already played all the notes that we want. And then, yeah, we're just going to go in and kind of quantize things. Since there's an arpeggio happening, I do like to kind of snap these to the grid. Whew, that's fun already. So we got this little guy. Let's do Command J just to make sure it's the length we want it, which is 4 bars. And then here's where we can do some like messing around with like the programming of it. We can do little variations here. So it's not just playing the same exact thing over and over. I mean, it kind of works. It can work, but I don't know. Let's just mess around. So since I clicked fold, when you do that, it folds it. What it does is it basically just makes your grid only the notes that exist. So it makes it easier to do this kind of stuff where, like, if you've played all the notes or most of the notes in a scale that you want to use, you can quickly, like, make little variations like this. Check it out. Like, let's move this G sharp down. So, and then we're going to mess, you know, let's try messing with these. Let's just randomly move these around. I do that a lot. Totally random. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, it's a little wonky. Let's get it right. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting somewhere here. So now, since I don't want it to sound exactly like this part, we're gonna get out of like the fold mode, and then let's turn the headphones on over here just so we can hear what note's going on. Let's see, maybe we'll change this note. Oh, whoops. I was in the wrong one. We're supposed to be doing that over here. Okay, let's see how this little 8-bar loop sounds. Getting there. So I'm kind of thinking this little thing is going to need to happen in the first part. We're just going to switch these two around. You'll see what I'm talking about. Turn the headphones off. Move those two over there. Take these two. Bring them over here. Watch. Now those two sound kind of weird at the end. How did we have it over here? All right. Boom. There we go. We got a nice little lead. Now, we can do some cool stuff with this in the synth. Let's get crazy. So, I'm messing with this harmonic stretch here. There's a snare. Yeah. You know what we also haven't done is change the wavetable at all. That's just like a straight up saw wave, which I actually like to use a lot. But let's mess around. Let's check out Glork. Whoops. Oh, Glork table's 1. Let's do sync. Let's try the sync ones. These are kind of cool. We gotta search around though and find the right one. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's see how some of these effects sound on it. Okay, I think that one's going to be the winner, the harmonic stretch. So that's kind of sick, this little pattern we have going, because it gives it a little bit of a rhythm. It gives it this like... So, you know, if you increase it to like 1 to quarter notes. So yeah, you could do that if you want, or you can just make a nice little, really mellow curve that... And just like, you know, when you click on this right here, you can adjust how much the LFO is doing. So just have it do a slight. And now over here, this is kind of fun too. This is pretty much the same knob that Serum has, where you can do apply sync, the bending plus and minus, and then you can also do FM from other oscillators. Oh, and ring modulation, I guess. But let's mess around with sync. That's format. So I kind of like sync for this. All right, let's check it out. Let's see how it sounds from the top. All right, so it's a bit much. So here's what I'm going to do. Go back to basic shapes. Let's find... Oops, wrong one. Let's find the saw wave. Where is a saw wave? Quad saw. Actually, we're gonna go back to... Yeah, it's just a cleaner, nicer sound. I love using saw waves because of that. So let's get into the effects. Let's do the compressor. Turn the highs down a little bit. Maybe we'll do a little distortion. So I turn the drive up and I turn the mix a little bit down, 'cause I don't want it to be like distorting that hard. And now I think what we're going to do on this one, I think we're going to throw some erosion on it, because that's just the quick, easy way to get some nice fuzz going on. So wide noise. And then we're going to go in here and just pull up the EQ and just give it a little boost. I love this EQ so much. It's such it's just so much. It's so nice to have like a graphic EQ with 3 different points to use inside of a synth. So we made this like cool lead, but I'm not sure if I want it to be introduced like right when the drums kick in and right when that acid bass is just finally doing its cool, like fully opened version of itself. So I'm going to drag this over here and we're just going to say that this is what happens when the breakdown starts. Build up, 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 and then it drops. But yeah, the reason for that is this is such a cool little acid section that I don't want it to be like crowded by this new synth that we've made. So Let's do some of this. Since I just like to go for it and like commit and don't look back. So I'm gonna freeze and flatten this synth that we just made. A lot of people think I'm like absolutely crazy for operating like this, but I think it's more fun for the creative process because you just got to move on. Maybe it's a metaphor for life. But yeah, you just gotta be okay with not being able to mess with the synth anymore. And doing little micro tweaks that you could just sit there for hours and do. So we're gonna flatten it. But the other reason I love doing it is because it makes it easy to tease the sound in. It just like puts you in a different creative space of like not trying to get the notes right, but actually just trying to do some cool effects with it. So you'll see what I mean. So I'm gonna take like, I don't know, the first couple bars of this, and I'm gonna toss it over here, duplicate it. So this is gonna act as like this is the foreshadowing to what's about to happen on the breakdown. And I'm gonna duplicate this track. So there you go. You can kind of see what's going on. Let's shorten it even more. And then let's do this. We're just going to throw a simple auto filter on, turn it on to high pass, turn the resonance up a little bit. And then we're just going to have it slowly open up. And then it'll go, well, I have the loop going. Let's turn the loop off. It'll just go. Let's check it out. So you can kind of see what we're doing there. We're just teasing this. And it sounds cool with the filter, but it sounds even cooler with Endless Smile on. So we're gonna do this type of beat where we turn it up. So while the high pass filter is just really like barely letting any of this sound through, we're gonna crank that way up so that it's washed out with reverb. So you can kind of hear like that. It gives it a nice little tail too, which, like I said before, at the beginning of this, it's really good to have these little trail offs to kind of like glue the whole song together. So this would definitely be one of those. Okay, let's save it.